Well, we've been hearing about this buck that had been, friends have seen him cross the road. They've seen him in the at the neighbors in the bean field there by us. And we hadn't seen it. We didn't have a single picture of him, and we hadn't seen him until right after season closed. We're going into duck hunt, and we see a deer that matches the description of the buck that we've been hearing about.
My favorite time to scout and really learn more about the property, even the properties that I've had for a long time that I know a lot about, is really after season closes. You know, I like to go in, take gauge, and shed hunt, and you can learn just some little things. You might find a shed on a little trail crossing a creek drainage, or something where a particular buck might be doing something a little different than the rest of the deer. And also, you know, you never know. You're gonna find a shed or a set of sheds that off of a deer that you've either only seen one or two times or you've never seen before, and it just helps put a few pieces to the puzzle together on, you know, some strategy that you might come up with. Man, what a rub. Well, I was particularly interested in going in and shed hunting on this farm after season, because we had seen a deer while we were duck hunting after deer season that, you know, was a deer that we could really look forward into hunting the next season.
We've been walking this creek basin. Several guys told us about seeing one cross at the highway.
Hey, attaboy. Attaboy, Gage. That's awesome. Attaboy, what you got?
That didn't take long. That's twice I've tried to talk. And
good job. Hey, that's a matching set right there, Gage. That's what we're looking for, buddy. Good job. Good job, Gage.
Well, we thought if we walked this creek drainage right here, because the neighbor's been seeing, you know, a deer. He said he's been crossing back and forth over into the bean field across this creek. We found the one with the drop tine up here in the food plot. So we've been walking this creek bed right here, and I was hoping, I didn't know what it'd be like, because we had one flood probably about 2 months ago, but it's recuperated, and we'll probably have another one again here before spring, when spring gets fully kicked in. But we got a matching set. We got to come up with a name for him, but he'll definitely be a buck that we'll be looking for next year for sure. We've seen him a couple of times, and which we don't have any trail camera pictures on him, but we see him, actually both times we saw him we was going duck hunting. So that's exciting. Good job, Gage.
Good job. Good job. You found a pile of sheds. We got to go get your picture taken. We got to go get your picture taken now. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good morning. It's a good morning.
You know, one of my biggest pieces of advice I can give is preparation. In my opinion, luck is where preparation meets opportunity. And, you know, we like to spend a lot of time planting whatever is available there on that particular farm or area we have access to. You know, if I can, I like to plant corn, beans, alfalfa, brassicas, and wheat and oats and those kind of things. I love Real World's products. We get all our stuff from Bent Brow Outdoors, and I just believe that preparation is really the key, a big key to our success when hunting season comes and we're after that, you know, real special buck.
You can tell this antler grow has fertilized these beans. Man, they have grown like crazy. That's even with the deer hitting them so hard. We drove a long ways today to check cameras and spray the beans with antler grow. I'm gonna be here a while too, spraying it with a spec pack sprayer. But they're hammering them, it's working, and season's not far away. We're getting ready. We're fixing to go check the trail camera pictures and see what we got.
Well, we've got everything prepared. The food plots are up, the beans have done great. You know, we're getting closer and closer to the rut. The local farmers around have harvested their, are in the process, have either harvested or are harvesting their crops, and we're picking up a few more deer every week. And sure enough, the buck that we nicknamed Flair, we found his sheds back earlier in the year. We get him on trail camera. And, acorns are falling, and of course they're not hitting the food plots quite as much right now because they're hitting those acorns. So we're moved back in the woods, off the food plots, under the big oak trees, trying to catch them when it's still light enough before it gets dark and before they come out towards where the food plots are at. Well, we're up here next to one of my farms. We drove up here today to hunt this afternoon. We're in that great phase of the moon phase of the month today and tomorrow. And we get here and the neighbor is out here picking beans today, which I really like because we're gonna be hunting that farm over there where those trees are at. And there's a big creek and a slough over there. And I think there'll be enough activity here to, in case he is coming out this way somewhere, because there's a bunch of oak trees along that edge. I think it'll keep him pushed into the woods, hopefully, where we're at. We're gonna be hunting. There's 3 or 4 big oak trees there where we're gonna be hunting, dropping acorns. I've got several pictures of him in there eating acorns under those oak trees. We got an alfalfa field just on the other side of it and a couple corn fields. So he's been in between, and we're gonna be in those woods right in between this bean field and the alfalfa and corn on the other side. So we're gonna be in that strip of woods. I can't wait. Through the years, probably 6 or 7 different times in the last 20 years, we've killed a big buck during this moon phase. And usually it's when we got a buck like this on trail camera. He's been using a spot pretty regular, and this moon phase we got a good wind, we got good weather. It's cool today. It's warmed up a little bit in the middle of the day, but when the sun goes down, I mean, it's gonna be chilly tonight. So I'm excited. The big scrape right here, big scrape. There's another one right up there. You see where he did it right under this licking branch. There's another one right down here. We tried hunting some of the food plots earlier in the season, and now that the acorns are falling, though, they're just not getting there normally before dark. They're eating on these acorns as they're moving out to the fields. But these scrapes all in here and these acorns, we're definitely in the right spot. Well, as we're driving in this afternoon, the neighbor right outside the farm is harvesting beans. We get into the woods, we see a couple big scrapes. It's actually a little slower. Deer activity was a little slower than I was expecting, but you can just tell that things are starting to happen. You're starting to see more big scrapes, more rubs, licking branches tore up, and bucks just nosing the does a little bit, and you can tell it's starting to happen. Beautiful morning. I'm actually cold. I underdressed and forgot my binoculars. But in saying that, it's an awesome morning, cool. We got an incredible, this moon phase is the best one of the year. It's gonna be better in the afternoon, but still this morning's awesome. I can see a couple of deer right up there eating under one of those oak trees. But we're right in here, there's like 10 big scrapes within 200 yards of us spread around. The combine's running over here. They're harvesting beans on the farm next to us. It's gonna make it even better. Well, this next morning, it's beautiful, clear, crisp, cold morning. I forgot my jacket, forgot my binoculars, so I was a little irritated at myself, but I was excited about the fact of how good a morning it was. Sure enough, look up on the, up the through the woods, and I see a rack coming. I can tell it looks like flare, and he's easing down through there, just feeding on those acorns, headed back to his bed.
I think he's gonna go quick get by us. He got by us. Didn't get close enough. Probably about 60 yards. Whew. Did you see that, Tim? Oh my God. It was an awesome morning. It was pretty exciting getting to see him for the first time in person. Big bodied deer, beautiful deer. You know, he's got that, one of those kind of racks that just shines in the sunlight, and that's one reason I give him that name, Flair. It reminds me of Ric Flair and that blonde hair. But he's a stud. He's a stud. That was pretty exciting. See if we can sneak out of here real quiet and come back this afternoon. Moon Guide says this afternoon is going to be it, so we'll see.
Well, I had a feeling, you know, by our morning encounter that Flair's bedding pretty close. And so we take a lot of pains to get in and out undetected. We slip out of the stand that morning and ease out of the woods. It warms up a little bit during the day, but I'm super excited because the Moon Guide is telling me that this is the best day of the month. All the stars are kind of lining. At least it's not super hot. We've seen him that morning, and I just got that feeling, you know, there's a good chance he's going to come back through those oak trees into the food plots that afternoon.
This is just a strip of woods right in between, you know, like the duck holes and the cornfields and alfalfa fields and stuff we've got. And then where the planted trees are in the WRP. And there's some big oaks in here, and they're just feeding in those oaks on their way back to the bed.
Well, as the sun's just starting to set, I'm, you know, really focused in that area where he disappeared into this morning. And I look, and here he comes, easing through, really taking his time. There's a few does in front of him. He's kind of keeping his eye on them and watching them and seeing how they're, you know, reacting to things, and he's just working his way closer and closer, and I got that feeling we're fixing to get a shot.
Oh, I think it's in his shoulder a little bit, but I'm sure that swacker got him. It hit him hard. I think I hit him in the shoulder. It came right off of this point. I was hoping that big old cedar thicket and those planted trees, and they've been, of course, that's where they bed, and then the alfalfa and the corn and the beans and brassicas and the real world, all that stuff's back out here. And they travel this corridor out here. Those does, you can tell, man, the Moon Guide was right on target today. Today was the day. I talked to Adam Hayes just a couple weeks ago, and he told me this was the day I talked to Scott and Steve Esker. They even sent me pictures of the moon guide. Adam had sent me one in the mail and I hadn't got it yet, and said the 19th and the 20th, 21st was gonna be the 3 best days, with the 19th being the best. And sure enough, it was, man. We got pretty good blood. We waited probably 45 minutes, and the last time I saw him, he was right up here and he had stopped and he was just standing there, and then all of a sudden he stood there for like 30 seconds, and then he just kind of dropped his head and took off on like just real quick, and I saw him, just bits and pieces of him, and then all of a sudden nothing. And so I'm hoping that that was his last run. We're gonna, I mean, we reviewed the footage, looked at the footage. I hit him in the shoulder, but with where I hit him, and there was probably half the arrow sticking out of him. So, you know, I think it lodged in the leg or the shoulder on the opposite side. The angle he was, he should be dead. Yeah! Yeah! Good. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Woo! Oh my gosh, look. What a buck. Look at the brow tines on that sucker. Oh my gosh. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Oh man. We saw this deer last year, and I had a feeling he was going to be a good one. I had no idea that he would blow up like this. We found his sheds this past spring, and you know, we had all the crops planted out here for him. We had the wheat and the brassicas and clover and alfalfa, and we had everything he needed to stay and live on the farm. And we've had some good deer through the years, and I've killed some good deer through the years there, but this is definitely the best deer here so far, and it just keeps getting better and better. We got a couple more good ones that we've seen and we've had people tell us about, but man alive, he's just so awesome. Look at those brow tines. I mean, that is just brow tines to die for right there. Great frame, got a cool little kicker drop over here. And man, what a deer. This thing is huge bodied deer. I think this deer is 5.5. Thank you, Lord.